Alright, this is the first video in the glove tutorial. Namely, this is the fingerless glove tutorial. I have linked to another blog page showing what the pattern is. Now, this video assumes that you know how to knit in the round. You know the basics of knitting, you know how to cast on, knit, purl, increase, decrease, and so on and so forth. If you don't know how to knit in the round, in any method, double pointed needles like this, magic loop, circular needle, that's fine. I'm going to be doing a video down the line about that. But in the meantime, this already assumes that you know how to do that. So if you follow the pattern, what I have done is I have casted on 64 stitches. So I've distributed them evenly over 4 needles, and I have done about 2 inches of ribbing and 4 rows of plain stocking net. Now, in the case of the gloves, that stocking net is important because it's going to keep the cuff from riding up. And believe me, I have come from the cold part of this country, and you don't want your gloves riding up on you. That is a very cold and wet reality. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to start the thumb increases. Now, if you normally like knitting on 3 double-pointed needles, I would definitely encourage you to do 4 on a project like this, because the stitches will take a lot more strain under 3 than they would 4, and in fact, I'm going to be adding a 5th needle when my thumb increase gets big enough. Just so, because I won't get ladders that way. It'll be a lot cleaner. It'll be a lot easier to deal with. So, alright, so I'm going to start this thumb increase. So I'm on the first needle. You can tell because I've got my little tail. And all my increases are going to be knit front to back. It's a very basic increase. So this first stitch, I'm going to knit in the front, knit in the back, and that's it. That's your increase. Then, according to the pattern I wrote, I'm going to knit 3, and then I'm going to increase 1 more time. Oh, come on. Then I just finish out my row with regular plain old knitting. And for those of you watching that are still somewhat afraid of double pointed needles, I'm just going to do the round, even though it's not overly interesting. But just so you can see how easy you can work with them. Even though they look scary, they aren't. Just look at them as really impressive looking stitch holders, which is pretty much all they are. This is the same principle as knitting with a circular needle, only instead of cable attaching the 2 needles, it's other needles. Oh, come on. There we go. You can see that all I'm doing is just working each needle, then turning, and then going to the next. There's nothing complex about this. So if anything, it's worth learning how to use these, if only for the reactions of the general public, because it looks like you're doing this absolutely complicated thing, and the looks of everybody that watches you knit with these things is really priceless. It's totally worth the price of the needles. It's great. I'm reaching the last needle. I'm not going to show you another round of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where I'm going to increase next. Whoop. Because to increase for the thumb increase, you do an increase round, and then you do a round of plain knitting, and then you go back to an increase round. So when I'm done with this round, which is, even though I'm knitting normally now, this is considered an increase round. So when I'm done with this needle, and if you look, you can see I'm approaching that tail again. It'll be just a plain knitting round. Alright, and that's the first round of the thumb increase. So what I would do, once I go around again and I'm ready to increase, what I'm going to do is I'm just like I did with this first row, I'm going to increase this first stitch here. Then instead of knitting 3, I'm going to knit 5. Alright, so you would knit those 5 rows, and then this last one you would increase again. So you would be going from 7 to 9 stitches for the thumb increase. And there's no way you'll be able to see this on this camera, but you'll see with knitting the front to back, you're going to see a little decorative line, an itty bitty little line, and you'll see it kind of forming a V all along this. And I'm going to, the next video, I'm going to end the thumb increase. I'm going to do one more increase round, and then I'm going to show how I finish the thumb increase, how I kind of tie the two together so it actually looks like a glove, not a gigantic knitted bell, or a lopsided knitted bell, because it would look lopsided. But just bear with me, trust the pattern, trust me, as soon as you are done with the thumb increase and you're doing the rest of the glove, it's pretty much instant gratification once you're done with the thumb increase, because it'll look like a glove right away. So that's it. That's your first round on your thumb increase.